Hi viewers, in this video we'll talk about risk management. Risk management is the identification, evaluation and prioritization of risk, followed by coordinated and economical application of resources to minimize, monitor and control the probability or impact of unfortunate events or to maximize realization of opportunities. So in risk management, we identify all possible scenario which can impact your project, your asset, or your institution. Risk management is a life cycle is iterative, so it's a continuous process. In this risk management, we explain what method we will use, which tool we will use to manage our risk. For the enterprise, they define what is the acceptable risk level and what is the risk appetite. It is not possible to remove the risk totally. In for the risk, the most important step is to identify your assets, tangible, physical, hardware, buildings, anything that can touch, or it can be intangible like data, trade secrets, reputation, etc. Risk has a very easy formula that is threat into vulnerability. We'll discuss about threat and vulnerabilities in the later slides. Part of the risk management is risk assessment. Risk assessment is a process to identify potential hazards and analyze what could happen if a hazard occurs. A business impact analysis is the process for determining the potential impacts resulting from the interruption of time sensitive or critical business processes. So in this one, in risk assessment, we do business impact analysis and and to verify what impact it will do in case of any risk occur. And all analysis is based on cost benefit analysis. We assess the current countermeasure. Are they good enough? Are they sufficient? Or do we need to improve on them? Do we need to apply entirely new countermeasures? So based on the risk assessment, we can take that decision. There are four type of risk responses. First is accept the risk. In this one, we accept the risk as it is. Normally, it is those risks which are low risk, and for the enterprise, it is come under their acceptable risk or under their risk appetite. Mitigate the risk. Basically, in this one, in this response, you redo, implement some countermeasure to reduce the impact of the risk. So for example, there is a laptop encryption. So in case if laptop is stolen, it will be control is implemented that it will wipe out, and we wipe out all the information, critical information, transfer the risk. In this response, we transfer it to some other third party. For this one, we use the insurance to use for this response. For example, if laptop is stolen and we have taken all the proper countermeasures and still it is stolen, then insurance will pay us back. Risk avoidance. In this risk avoidance, basically we wouldn't put on that business. And for example, we don't issue employee laptop if possible, or we build the data center in area that doesn't flood. So we will avoid that business in that which has that risk. Second step, the other key concept in the risk management is risk analysis. There are two kinds of risk analysis: qualitative versus quantitative. Qualitative analysis is that how likely is to happen and how bad if it is happen. So based on our business understanding, we give some values to the risk. This is totally subjective and based upon users' experience and data available. The other category is quantitative. In this one, we will put the monetary values for each factor. Okay, so like total value of asset, what is the total value of asset? So after giving some high, medium, low values, we assign some numerical values, and based on that, we do the risk analysis. The other concept in the risk management are threat. Threat is a potential harmful incident like tsunami, earthquake, virus. Vulnerability is basically a weakness that can allow the threat to do harm. Having a data center in tsunami flood area, not earthquake resistant, not applying patches and antivirus. So basically, this is a vulnerability for our data center. And threat like tsunami, earthquake can exploit those vulnerabilities. For risk analysis, we need to identify our asset, what we are protecting. For the risk, we use the value threat into vulnerability. Impact can at times be added to give a full picture. So our formula will be risk threat into vulnerability into impact. So our total risk formula will be threat into vulnerability into asset value. Qualitative risk analysis. Now I will give you one example for the qualitative risk analysis. For example, we have a laptop. Now, there are two. First of all, we have to see what kind of information is available on that laptop. Does it have any critical information, or it doesn't have any information at all? So, if it has a critical information, then based on our studies, we will assign the values high, let's say high or medium. If doesn't have any values, then it will be low or negligible. Similarly, if now based on this one we can categorize our risk as well. Based on that one we can plan what is the mitigation control is implemented. If there is some encryption is implemented that only authorized people can access and decrypt the laptop data, then the risk will be less. But if in case there is no control is implemented, then the risk will be high. For quantity risk analysis, we use the numbers. There are different formulas we use to calculate quantitative risk analysis. The factors we use are exposure factors, single loss expectancy, annual rate of occurrence, analyze loss expectancy, total cost of ownership. There are different formulas and values we use to calculate the quantitative risk analysis. That's all for this video. Thank you.